The Maldives, a group of beautiful islands in the middle of the Indian Ocean. There are actually thousands of islands there, but there's only about, I think, a couple of hundred that are inhabited, but there's more coming online every year. And people think about the Maldives and they think, oh, it's just for honeymoon couples, or it's just for couples in love, or whatever. Actually, it's totally not. There is genuinely an island for everybody in the Maldives. So whether you be an adult couple who don't want to see a child, heaven forbid, or whether you be a family with a baby, or with toddlers, or with teenagers, there is genuinely somewhere that will suit you in the Maldives. And what we can do is help you to find that place. So why should you use me to help you with the Maldives? Well, we have access to fantastic suppliers who have contracts with individual islands in the Maldives. So they genuinely get the best price, but more importantly, they also know everything you want to go. The sorts of questions we get asked. Can I take a drink from the bar back to my room? Do they supply snorkeling gear? Can I do paddleboarding? Can I do water skiing? All those sorts of things. Do I have a butler who will answer my every need? One of the things that I use to narrow down the islands, as well as talking to my suppliers, are books like this. So this island guide here has literally information about every single island that's inhabited in the Maldives. So it's a wonderful, wonderful place to have a look if somebody's got a question, or if we're trying to narrow down the islands. There are islands that have huge water parks on side, like Siam World. There are islands, the one we went to last year was called You and Me Cocoon. Beautiful small island. It only takes you 10 minutes to walk around from end to end. It's got 3 restaurants on there, and it's adult only, which some people like. Amazing snorkeling right underneath your water villa. We saw sharks right next to our water villa, manta rays, other rays, the most innumerable fish. It's just a magical place to stay. And if you walk along the shoreline at sunset, then there's little crabs running around all there, going down their little holes, and it's just really, really magic experiences. And then there are islands in the Maldives that are much more geared towards families. So they're like maybe Siam World, Kuramathi. There's so many different islands that can do families. Bandos is another great one. You also need to think, when you're looking at the Maldives, are you happy to get in a seaplane? Because not everybody is. The seaplanes take off from Male Airport and fly out to the resorts, and you may land 2 or 3 times before you get to your resort. So it's something that's important to think about, because if you get very easily seasick or transport sick, you may want to take a tablet before you get on the seaplane. And equally, if you're really scared of that, we need to find another route for you. I did have a couple recently for whom that was going to be an issue, and so what we did was they climbed onto a internal flight, which is not a seaplane, so a domestic flight, just a smaller version of your big aircraft, and then they had literally a 8 or 10 minute boat ride at the other end, which was fine. So whatever your limitations or your requirements, we can generally find somewhere that will fit. Don't think about the Maldives as being somewhere that only honeymoon couples go, because it's absolutely is not. The other thing about the Maldives is you can go fairly low end and you can go enormously high end. So there are resorts that are maybe a 3-star up to 6-7 stars. They won't declare their stars because it's kind of meaningless, to be honest, the star system. But what you will find in those very, very high-end resorts is you have enormous amounts of privacy. There are probably big villas that you're with, a la carte dining, Michelin starred potentially, really, really high-end stuff. The resort that we went to also had an underwater restaurant, and that is a real bucket list experience, to go and be under the sea. There's only 6 of them, I think, across all the different islands. And so if that's something that's on your tick-off list, that narrows down the choice automatically. So don't think about the Maldives as being just for honeymoon couples. Come and talk to me. If it's somewhere you fancy taking your teenagers, we will find a way to make it work. If this sounds like something you'd like to try, then why not give us a call or drop me a WhatsApp on this number? Our service to you is completely free of charge, so why wouldn't you give it a try?